Hey guys, what's up? It's Drew here, quick video blog. I wanted to talk today about Scaramucci, Anthony Scaramucci versus Donald Trump. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I personally have met Anthony Scaramucci. I know him back in 2010. He had sent me his books. In 2010, I was about 3 years out of college. I was working at Enterprise Holdings, which is basically Enterprise Rent a Car, and this guy, Scaramucci, came in totally unassuming, didn't know who he was. He was wearing, black sweatshirt, black sweatpants, and he was taking a black car to the city. He was a very nice guy, very cool, making a lot of jokes. He had a great personality, and he gave me his card. And so when I got home, I turned on CNBC because I had developed a slight interest in finance, and I saw him on CNBC on the TV after coming back from work at the time. So I was like, who is this guy? I was wondering who he was, and I find out he's this, big hedge fund manager, one of the most powerful in the industry, from recognizable stands and just well connected. He's a power player in the hedge fund industry, runs the SALT conference, and it's like a big deal, since then he had given me two of his books, Goodbye Gordon Gekko and Little Book of Hedge Funds, and I even rounded up in 2013. I rounded up investors to invest in his restaurant, which would become the Hunt and Fish Club. At first, it was called Dopo Teatro. It wasn't his, but it was turned from that into the Hunt and Fish Club. And I had rounded up some friends and some investors to invest. My investors ended up not investing, but nonetheless, I was still able to bring my firm in and bring my friends in to entertain the idea. So I'm not a stranger to Anthony Scaramucci. I've met him before. I've spoken to him before. I think he's a great guy. Let me just put it that way. I think he's a great guy. Now, the issue that I've never met Donald Trump, okay? And I have no real, I'm not like a starstruck type of person. So even though I've read Donald Trump's books and I've followed I followed his business moves, and I've seen him on TV, and I think that he's a great tycoon and everything. I wouldn't have the urge to sit down with him or to meet him. I just wouldn't. Not because of his personality or anything like that. Just because I'm not a starstruck kind of person. And also, I like to meet people who I can give value to or who I can evenly trade with. Like, for me, I could not. I don't think that anything I do in my business could benefit somebody of Donald Trump's level. So I would not want to, yes, I'm at the level where it's like seven figures and whatnot, but this guy's a billionaire, so it's like I don't think anything that I would do would benefit him. So there would be nothing coming out of the meeting unless I was just looking to learn something. That's how I view Donald Trump, and that's also how I view Scaramucci, because Scaramucci is also way above my level as well, as of the making of this video. So that being said, there's reasons why I look at this the way I look at this. See, Donald Trump is a tycoon. Anthony Scaramucci is also a tycoon, but just on a smaller level. So Anthony Scaramucci, I believe that he earnestly wanted to back President Trump. But from looking at it, I got to be honest. Although I think Scaramucci is a wonderful guy, I think he's a great guy. I think that he has, mentored so many people and helped so many people, and he's very intelligent too. Although I think all those things about Anthony, I believe that once he finally got the job and the spotlight was on him, I feel like the spotlight was a bit much. Not because it wasn't regular spotlight anymore. It wasn't like, he was always a Fox contributor, he was a Fox Business contributor, he was a CNBC contributor, but those people don't really get like the kind of attention that you get from being in the White House when a president is there and speaking to the public. So Anthony Scaramucci was addressing the nation at one point, so I feel like that all that publicity and all that attention, I feel like it put him in a position where he was getting so much attention that he was not really used to it. And I know that because I just thought that the job that he was doing as, I just thought that the job that he was given, even though he was only there for 11 days, that job was beneath him. I mean, we're talking about a guy who started a hedge fund that manages billions of dollars, Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was about 13 billion at its peak. Okay, why would a guy like that need to settle for? I don't even know if the job that he went for was six figures or less, but even if it's six figures, why would a guy like that need a White House job? He didn't want the White House job. He wanted the connections. He has connections already, so I don't even know why he wanted those. But I think he wanted the spotlight. I think he wanted to be out in the public, and now he's got his own podcast. He's making appearances on CNN. I believe that on some level he wants to be on TV, and to each their own. At the end of the day, again, Anthony's a very smart guy, very successful guy. He convinced me to take my Series 7 and Series 63. He's up there. This guy is so smart and so brilliant, and he's great. But I think that, he wanted to be on TV, and I think that Trump's position is a little bit different. Trump is old money, dude. Trump is old money. He's been around celebrities his whole life. He's built big. He's done that. He's got the jet. He's got the towers in the city. He's got the celebrity connects. He doesn't care. Trump does not care about lining his pockets at this point. He doesn't care about publicity anymore. He cares about doing what he believes is right for America. He does care about doing a good job and putting his name on it. That I believe, because if you look at all of Trump's other projects, whether it's buildings and whatnot, he cares about doing a good job and putting his name on it and getting credit for it. That's what I think. I think that we as Americans, so what? If he wants to put his name on it, I don't care. If he's going to fix the country, he's going to fix the country. If he's going to make it better, he's going to make it better. You can argue that socially he hasn't, because he's engaged in all this back and forth with the deep state media and whatnot. But, I think on a pragmatic level, he has made it better, and it will get better. I think we're going to have, I think if you look at Donald Trump's history, everybody always doubts him and he gets worried, and he has this period of time where he's kind of in a position where he can be counted out. But his comeback is pretty strong, and it's been that way since his careers in TV and in real estate. It's always been the same trend. He looks like he's down and out. He looks like he's taking a beating, and then he comes back. So I've seen that, and I believe that the way that Trump and Anthony kind of have this falling out was because Anthony should never have been in that position in the first place. All the things that Anthony is doing are beneath him, in my opinion. I think that this guy is a big, he's not a normal guy. He's a power player in the hedge fund industry. And I feel like maybe that's just not enough for him. Maybe he wants to be more exposed. He wants to be more on TV. He wants to be a little bit more of a celebrity, and, the way that Trump kind of embarrassed him by firing him in 11 days from a position that was beneath him in the first place, I don't think it sat well with Anthony, especially since Anthony gave up so much to be there. So now Anthony is on TV basically saying that Trump should be out of office. We got to replace this guy. The things that Trump says are terrible and all this other stuff. And they're pretty much going at each other on Twitter and whatnot. And to me, it's kind of a shame to see that happen. I mean, I'm not surprised, because Trump, if you look at who Trump has put next to him, right? If you look at Mike Pence, for example, Mike Pence is he's so uncontroversial, dude. I can't imagine him having a falling out with Trump. I mean, he's the perfect wingman. He just represents the office with some level of dignity, and just pretty much he's not up there defending Donald Trump at every single turn, but he's also not up there, bashing Trump or going against Trump. As a vice president, he's just kind of playing his role. And I think that's what Trump likes to surround himself with. He likes to be the boss, and he likes to get the credit, and he likes for people to play their position. He doesn't care whether because he's surrounded by other rich people too. He's surrounded by Steve Mnuchin. He's surrounded by there's another billionaire that works as I think it's Secretary of Commerce. I'm not really sure, but he's surrounded by billionaires. He's surrounded by millionaires in his establishment. McMahon, Betsy DeVos. All these people that have plenty of money. Even the former president of Goldman Sachs was working under him at one point. So he's surrounded by all these people who are super successful, and he doesn't care. The egos don't matter. He cares about himself leading the charge, and other people pretty much listening to him based on his plan. and he surrounds himself with advisors. But you see people come in and you see people go pretty often. Steve Bannon uh, really helped him wrap up the 2016 election. Gone. Manafort. Manafort's in jail now for things that Manafort did prior to working with Trump. Corey Lewandowski. You just see people coming in, and they come and they go, and they come and they go. And, you know, I'm not here to judge Donald Trump's morals as a human being. I don't really see, like, yeah, he's not Elon Musk, okay? He's not Steve Jobs, in terms of personality. He's not, like, he's not like these guys that really connect. He's not like these guys that really connect with everybody, anymore. I mean, he's kind of like, I wouldn't say he's transcended that, but now he's like the president of the United States, and all he cares about is this country getting better and him taking the credit for getting better after it does, which I have no problem with. I don't care if somebody wants to take the credit. I don't care if somebody's ego is big. I care about the results. If I'm putting a president in office, I care about the results. I care about the results. I don't care if they're egotistical. I don't care if they're arrogant. I almost don't even care about the things that they say. I care about the results. I care about them making the country actually better. And the one thing I disagree with Anthony on is that he was saying that, a better economy is not worth, the rhetoric and the back and forth that Trump creates on Twitter, or Trump answers or responds to on Twitter and all these other media channels. But the thing is that the media put out like billions of dollars worth of bad press, of smear attacks on Trump. So he has to respond to in some detail and in some degree, But I disagree when he says the economic progress is not worth that, because at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, social issues come and go, but social issues are also created by media. The media can drum up whatever social issues they want and say the president is the cause of it, and say Donald Trump is the cause. But the economic progress, the economic success will last long after he's gone. The results of that will last longer after he's gone. Or good policy, good foreign policy, and good internal policy will last long after he's gone. That's why I care about the pragmatic stuff, because we don't elect people just to inspire us. We don't elect people just to make us smile and make us happy. We had that with Obama. Obama made us laugh. Obama made us smile. Obama inspired us, at least in 2008 he did, until people really began to see his results, and they were like, well, the hope and the change is not really that great, is it? That's my take on Scaramucci versus Trump. I think both are very brilliant guys, but I knew at some point these egos would come to a head, and that's all I got to say. Peace.